So Lucy, we previously had talked about the idea of there not being enough room for failing in classrooms, not failure, just failing, the ability to fail in order to advance. Could you talk a little bit about, give us your thoughts on why you think that is, that there's not enough room for failing in classrooms today?
Yeah, I feel like it's both. It's something that both students and teachers experience, but we experience in different ways. There are a lot of pressures on faculty members to maybe not have high failure rate in their course, to also not get low teaching evaluations. There's a lot of pressure on them to be perfect, and often not a lot of bandwidth given to work on their teaching. Not and so it becomes very high risk to try anything, and very high risk. You kind of want to make sure that it's going to go well. And you and I know, as people who've worked in tech, nothing ever goes the way you think it's going to go, because technology is organic, and the way we behave with it is organic. And students, particularly in higher ed, are in the middle of making a behavioral change. They are in the middle of changing from a learning environment where they were asked to supply answers to prove their learning in high school, to a learning environment where their ability to pose questions, to do critical thought, is a demonstration of learning. And presiding over that transition is awkward, because nobody ever likes to change anything, particularly when it's been working for them and they've gotten into a great school. So all of this is kind of a pressure cooker, and something not going right. There's not a lot of bandwidth, I think, for people to have things that don't go right. So when I was talking before about curiosity, what I would love to see in a classroom is a place where faculty members feel like they can say to their students, we're going to learn together. I'm going to try some things because I want to see if this helps you to learn better. And we may have some adjustments that we make along the way, but you're going to give me feedback. And if something doesn't work the way we planned, it's not failing. It's information. All the information we get from this is good, right? Because if it turns out that it's not helping you to learn, then great, I know to try something else. But there's no place for failure, because even something that does not go well, we're all going to learn from. And I think that larger context is just a general environment and culture of learning. And I think that is so much better than building a culture of teaching, because teaching is something that you don't do to people, you do with them. And imagining a culture of teaching where you're just like, it's just one way, is not realistic. So a culture of learning then means that faculty can take some risks and can talk to their students honestly about working together to learn from each other. It also means that faculty, one thing that I see that's really, really hard is that we have faculty members who want to try something new. And they're presiding over this behavioral change with their students, right? So they've got, like, say, freshman classes are the worst, where the students just want to give an answer, and they want to be done. They don't want to pose a question. They don't want it to be problematic. Or you're trying to get students more engaged, and you want to only spend 40% of the time lecturing. And often faculty will get feedback like, hey, you're the expert, I'm paying for expertise, I don't want to talk to my peers about this. And so faculty members who have implemented what we would say, that's an amazing design, that's amazing learning design, will say, I got some of the lowest teaching evaluations I've ever gotten, and I'm never doing that again. Or students who have engaged, have taken a class that's a little experimental, like, well, I didn't just make an A, and I'm definitely going to go over to the class where I can take 2 multiple choice exams and be done and just make an A. And so I think, like, this culture of learning where we kind of remove that fail or high pass as the barriers, but that we're all learning from each other. And even if things don't go as we expect, we still learn something. I would love to see that type of environment. I don't think we have it right now.